They found him on a Tuesday. That detail would matter later, because Tuesdays were quiet on Briarwood Lane. Trash day was Thursday. Kids didn't linger outside on Tuesdays. There were no backyard parties, no lawn mowers humming, no reason for anyone to be watching, which is why no one saw 16-year-old Evan Morales leave his house at 9:12 p.m. Hoodie pulled tight against the early November cold, phone in his hand, earbuds in, one side dangling loose because it was broken, and no one saw the car that slowed as it passed him. Evan wasn't supposed to be outside. His mother, Rosa, had told him that at least twice before he left. She stood in the kitchen doorway, arms folded, watching him lace his sneakers with exaggerated patience. 10 minutes, she said. You said 10 minutes. I know. Evan replied, not looking up. I'm just going to the corner store. I'll be right back. You don't need anything. I need air. That made her sigh. Evan had been saying that a lot lately. Air. Space. A minute. Ever since his cousin Marco had been arrested in October, wrong place, wrong friends, wrong night. Evan had been quieter. He flinched at sirens. He checked the locks twice before bed. He started carrying his phone charger everywhere like a lifeline. Rosa didn't know how to help him. She worked double shifts at the nursing home. She was tired in a way that sleep never fixed. Put your hood down, she said as he reached for the door. People get nervous. Evan paused, half smiled. About what? You know what I mean. He didn't argue. He pulled the hood back, exposing the dark curls that never quite stayed flat, and opened the door. I'll be back before 10, he said. He didn't say goodbye. The corner store was 3 blocks away, for if you counted the long way around the abandoned duplex on Cherry Street. Evan always took the long way. That night, he wasn't really going anywhere. He walked past the store without going in, scrolling through his phone, rereading a text he'd sent 10 minutes earlier. Evan, you still mad Lena? I'm not mad Evan. You sure Lena, ick. He stopped under a flickering streetlight and typed, erased, typed again. He never sent another message. Across the street, a dark sedan rolled to a stop. The engine didn't cut. The headlights stayed on. Evan noticed it in the way you notice something off. A prickle between the shoulders, a tightening in the chest. He slid his phone into his pocket and kept walking, telling himself not to be stupid. The car followed. Not fast, not aggressive, just enough to stay close. Relax, Evan muttered. You're paranoid. The passenger window lowered. Hey, a voice called out. Male, young, casual. You got a second? Evan stopped. He shouldn't have, but he did. He turned, hands visible, heart suddenly loud in his ears. The car idled beside him. 2 silhouettes inside, one in the driver's seat, one leaning toward the open window. Yeah, Evan said. The guy squinted at him, studying his face like a bad photo comparison. You Evan? A pause. Yes, Evan said, because it was his name, because lying felt worse, because he hadn't done anything wrong. The guy smiled, but it didn't reach his eyes. Yeah, he said softly. Thought so. The door opened. At 9:47 p.m., Rosa Morales called her son. It rang until voicemail. She frowned, wiped her hands on a dish towel, and tried again. Straight to voicemail. By 10:15, she was pacing. By 10:40, she was in her jacket, keys shaking in her hand, walking the route to the corner store herself. She told herself she was overreacting. Teenagers were flaky. Phones died. But she felt it. That low, sick certainty blooming in her gut. She didn't see him. Not on the sidewalk. Not by the store. Not slouched on the curb like he sometimes was when he wanted to be alone. She called the police at 11:02 p.m. They told her to wait. They found Evan the next morning in a drainage ditch less than a mile from his house. A jogger saw the sneaker first, bright white, mud-stained, too clean to belong there. Then the leg. Then the rest. The police would later say he died quickly. The coroner would say the trauma was extensive. Rosa would never hear either of those sentences without thinking they were lies. Because when she saw her son in the hospital, tubes and wires, skin gray and wrong, hands still scarred from guitar strings, she knew, with a certainty that hollowed her out, that nothing about this had been quick or accidental. The first headline called it a random act of violence. The second suggested gang involvement. By the third day, Evan's name was being dragged through comment sections by people who had never met him, never heard him play music in his bedroom late at night, never watched him cry when he thought no one could hear. The police said they had leads. They didn't say they had suspects. They didn't say that the wrong Evan had been killed. Not yet.